right? Not having to ban out the Zeri yourselves allows them to take away the Hecarim.
I just think it's cool that we're seeing in the second game the same deal where we're getting rid of mid laners that affect bot. Because in bot lane, it was a 2v2 here, a bit of influence from Cleared, but apart from that, bot was quite quiet. And I didn't expect bot to be quiet in the series when the 2v2 should be nice and heated. So I guess, again, we're just making sure that, yep, there's going to be a stagnant bottom lane that's not too affected by these roaming mids.
No, and we even saw EDG pivoting up towards playing with their top laner, which is not something they've really done. Flandre, you know, at the bottom of jungle proximity and the amount of resources he is getting from his team. So for once, getting to see his team getting some Rift Heralds thrown over to his side. Now for the side of EDG, the Caitlyn is taken away because even though EDG have Caitlyn banned against them 100% of the time, FPX is also the champion most banned against them. We've seen for LWX and Hung, again, that Caitlyn Lux lane is one of their favorites. Now, with things like the Karma taken away, Caitlyn off the table, Thresh priority gonna go up to make sure they are able to, you know, land those hooks, look for those aggressive plays with the Jinx or the Aphelios, so they will surely be able to guarantee themselves.
EDG, I wonder what the question's going to be. Scout on Corki. People won't be too excited about this, but still a strong pick. And as it gets locked in, Lyric, I was just thinking, I don't know if you've seen the content piece from EDG, the comms that have come out. Jer and Clear Love are some of the funniest people in the league. I don't know why we heard Minasan, but we see it every single break, and it just reminded me seeing Clear Love with a bit of a smile on his face going back and forth. EDG having a good time right now, and look, two strong picks. We called this part of the Exodia trio that came with Zinzao.
You know, funny enough, this is the EDG's first time of playing these two champions together. Because Scout has only played Corki once, and it was in their last series.
Oh, wow.
Was not a win. He actually had a 0 KDA, which is kind of depressing, but gonna bring his hand at this champion once again. Again, we've just seen, even what I was able to do in the last game, right? Despite being so far down in gold. So FPX now going to be on the more aggressive end with the Aphelios Thresh combination. And as Flandre was saying, Shalahu loves these aggressive picks up in the top side. Accelerated Shock Blast will be such a valuable tool when you're playing up against Corki and Jinx, because then if we get into the same scenarios as last game, where they're just trying to buy time in front of you, hit those rockets, you know, wait for the rapid fire cannon to be stacked up, get the like further auto. It's like, no, accelerated shock blast, bam, half HP, and now you have to come into us. And Flandre instantly going towards the Malphite. EDG don't want to do that. EDG want to look to play.
That's good, because Flandre's someone who's got an extensive champion pool. He doesn't pick one champion many times unless it's something like the Grave. So see him return on the Malphite. Lyric, I guess if you're throwing Shock Blast, it's going to be a rock in the way.
Yeah, and I like the point about Flandre's champion pool because he's played Graves 3 times, he's played Gwen twice. Every other champion he's played once. Annie, Vlad, Gragas, Cho'Gath, now the Malphite. Expanding his pool. I'll always highlight the fact that this guy has been known throughout his career to play anything in the top lane. The Malzahars, the Lulus, the Azirs. This guy has shown it all. Now going to ban out some of the strong laning mids up against the Corki. Despite the fact that we have seen things like the Victor fall off, I wonder if EDG would ban that. Or since they do have Malphite, which is so strong against these immobile like control mage picks, it does seem like they're not going to opt into that. Instead, they're going to just ban out the Lee Sin from Clid.
Yeah, it makes sense when, even though he didn't have a good game one on it, Clid's still on the Lee Sin, has to be respected somewhat. The Hecarim gone, as JJ won't be able to pilot that again. A couple of junglers taken off already, so curious as the direction we go into. Lyric, we've seen a lot of volley bear come through from JJ and climb its way into the LPL a bit. I wonder if EDG want to go back towards that.
There's always an option. So far, though, they don't really have great lanes to enable. If they did go for something that does bring that amount of early pressure. Yep. Malphite, mostly will be chilling until 6. Then you do have setup, right? You look for that ultimate out of the Jace, bring damage from the jungle roll. Things like the Viego still left open as well, but so far they're hovering over towards that volley bear that you highlighted. I
think he's liked it the most out of any jungler in the LPL and consistently wants to play it. So JJ returning onto this one. I'm just going to pull up.
Ooh, I wonder if this is Yasuo Diana.
Well, that'd be...
I don't think there's a lot of tremendously good options left open into Corki with champions that can go against EDG's draft. They're going to bring out the Silas. There's ton of high-value ultimates coming out with both Volibear and Malphite on the opposing side. And, ooh, I actually really like the adaptation coming out from FPX much better. If they do pick up this Trundle, have something to take away those tank stats coming out, but are they going to opt into more early game pressure instead?
Maybe either way, Trundle, Olaf, Rek'Sai, all telling a similar story.
No Rek'Sai.
No
Rek'Sai.
Unfortunate. Well, that's a shame. It's not SOFM, so Clid's going to pick up the Trundle. Now, on the other side, EDG, how do you round this one out? Because you still need a support.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind this too much coming out from the side of EDG, just from the fact that you look at FPX, right? It's a lot of like single target engage coming out with either like the Abscond Duck coming out onto either Scout or Viper or a Death Sentence. So this really would be able to shut them down. Sure, you will still be annoyed by the poke and harass coming out from Xiaolahu up in topside, but I still feel like for EDG, your comp can play from a range. You can put out and match that poke as long as you're sidestepping the damage coming out from Jace, you're doing fine. Now you have this to dissuade things like the Sylas from jumping in. And you also have your own sets of engage to be able to look for if you get into a scenario where like, hey, we need to bait Dragon or we need to bait Baron, bam, Volibear and Malphite ready to jump in.
True. That's a lot of targeting. That's a lot of bam. Put it. So I'm kind of excited to see that the Tahm Kench come to the comp. Also excited to see Flandre return here onto the Malphite. Running into FPX. Lyric, am I going to say timer or FPX on a timer? They're going to get things rolling from the early game. Is it like that simple?
I definitely feel like there's more pressure on them to get ahead early, but one thing they will be able to rely on throughout this game, right, is their control of sides, having Jace and Sylas who will be able to win out. So if they can, you know, get control of sides in the mid game, look to rotate with things like numbers advantage, or even just find picks committing Sylas and Jace to the same side, then I think there's definitely avenues and windows for FPX to find their way in.
Okay.
For EDG, though, definitely excited for what they've gotten together. FPX also will have early lane pryos to abuse to try to enable Clid to get ahead and find these skirmishes.
A lot of people out there might be wondering what are the percentages for solo queue win rate. I believe it's in all Chinese servers combined, from my understanding. We'll have to confirm that one closer towards. I'm not sure what's going to be closer towards big typing in our messenger application. But all I know is it is solo queue win rate. Kind of an interesting stat, giving the audience a bit of an insight into how it could generically go. But we know in competitive that matchups, 1v1 matchups, are always so different. Like Corki Orianna, I think, is a really good example at the moment. Gwen Jax, Gwen Camille, Gwen anyone. Gwen with someone who, you know, has sharp feet. Gwen should always win it anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, yeah, I think it's always interesting as a comparison, but not the be-all, end-all that we hold strong to.
Going into this game, speaking of like those matchups, I'm very curious to see especially how Flandre builds the Malphite, because I still remember, and it won't leave my memory, of Shanji's build of like going Rocket Bell into like Zanyas and Banshees and just questioning like, what does this champion do? You're not bursting anyone with how defensively you've built. You're not tanky at all. We've seen some Turbo Chem Tank come out, which I don't feel like is a super useful item on the Malphite. You don't really need something to close the gap, and then, you know, typically you do just see the Frostfire Gauntlet is what is the typical go-to. So we're going to keep an eye on what Flandre is building. FPX, though, looking for a bit of a cheese onto this Malphite.
Blind. Oh my god, it's blind. Just predicting that Flandre will be in the brush, the ignite over the wall. And Xiaolahu, he wants the final piece of damage. FPX chasing this down, but Flandre is already out of there. And that flash was committed simply for an ignite.
This is why there has been a startup of the Hung fan club. Even, you know, even if Kadril, not an LPL caster, we can elect him president of the Hung fan club. This is why this man has been such a pop-up performer, always looking for these types of aggressive plays. Really nice hook coming out from him to make it even harder for Flandre to play out in this laning phase. We'll have to be very conscious of those potential ganks coming out from Clid. Clid drops one pillar in that lane behind him, and Flandre will just go down.
Well, okay, good start here for FPX into game number 2. Also want to point out that as we come into this game, as Flandre burns the flash, Xiaolahu, he's got first strike on the Jace here, Lyric. So looking to have as best time in lane as possible. And, you know, starting with a longsword as well. Curious to see how this guy goes, because Xiaolahu's Jace is his best champion. It's something he's preferred since his time joining the LPL. And it's been something that's been respect banned against him many times.
Oh, of course. I mean, even when he was filling in last year, when he was kind of coming in and out, trade time with Nuggery, we did see this was the pop-off champion that he was getting highlights on. Like you highlighted, First Strike is going to be trying to take advantage of the money he's able to get, especially the bonus true damage later on when that aspect will really matter. Now, this will be another key point, right? This mid lane matchup, because Scout will be able to have pressure early on, range versus melee, especially if you can sidestep the abscond abduct. You will be getting tremendous value. If you can put on the same level of pressure, it really will give FPX less options to play through. You would expect for FPX to want to punish up towards the top side, since that is where they got the flash, and also for the fact that they do have Shallahu on this Jace, and it looks like Klid is going to be going with that one, maybe just peeking over towards the Krugs, but I think Flandre
works the ground a little bit, the pillars out. Klid gets the chop down. They're going to dive this, though. Flandre walking away. Klid going to absorb the turret down to Shallahu, who flashes in first blood with a perfectly executed dive.
And we highlighted this when he lost the flash, right? One pillar behind him. Even when he's close to his turret, he's going to just go down. EDG going to try and find an answer into Shallahu. He doesn't have flash anymore.
Yeah, JJ already goes on all fours to get the stun. Klid not spotted in the brush. Buys his time. The Sky Splitter does great damage, though, and shielding as he flashes over the pillar. Flandre still not moving from the gigantic wave. He wants to make sure he picks up all of it, so FPX, they get the flash from the jungler as well. This early game is burning EDG alive.
Yeah, JJ trying to be a little bit cheeky. He knows that Shallahu wouldn't have enough time to recall, so wanting to try and find that pincer movement. But Klid did stick around in that turn to play. His Scout, all-inning Gory.
Yeah, 1v1. No ignite on either of these mid laners, but Gory burning the health bar a little bit as Klid's now returning in. There's a flash available. Not enough mana for a Valkyrie. Scout's going to back here, and yeah, Klid's not going to have vision of this, so he backs away. But you can see already, Lyric, you talk about snowballing the laners. This is the way to start it, and even Hung setting it up for Mako, but a nice side step downward gets him out of trouble.
I do want to say, I think the fact of like Gory waiting on his cooldowns and also being solo on mana is why Klid didn't commit, because, you know, one pillar you probably could have forced out a quirky flash as well. Now JJ, though, going to look for a gank on the top side, is spotted out by the ward, so won't be able to find anything. But realizing, right, you don't really have too much set up down in the bottom lane, so unless LWX and Hung put themselves in a very precarious position, it will be quite hard to gank that one.
Get in the middle of two onto Shallahu, that Sky Splitter. I'm not sure how long the cooldown actually is back up but available, but Pillar puts him in a bad position. It's coming down. The burst damage from Volibear huge, but Jeje close to trading his life onto Klid. It's a couple of bit of damage away, but Flandre will clean the rest up. A 2-for-1 trade in the top lane, and that's a return for EDG they desperately needed.
Yeah, the Sky Splitter coming in massive. Also, nice W, JJ being able to get that bit of health back at the end as well. FPX trying to respond in the mid lane with Hung being able to move first, but a simple Valkyrie from Scout is able to clean up that one. Now Flandre making sure Shallahu loses as many minions as possible.
That hurts my soul. That's so many minions dying to the turret. And so much gold as well, Lyric, as brutal strikes keep coming down on that top lane. Flandre not going to get the turret plating, unfortunately, but he's able to deny the minion wave. Depends on if he dies here. Klid's
we just keep going. We just keep going.
There's no mana for Flandre. His flash is almost up and available. He wants the seismic shard for movement speed, but Klid is one step away. He flash chomps the rock. That tastes like rock candy with a 2-1 Klid in the top lane.
I love the way the junglers are thinking about this of like, okay, well, since they got the kill and pushed out now, they will be left in a position to go for this gank. We're going to go into the replay. They commit on to JJ very early on. Does go for the turn, and here the Sky Splitter comes in massively. The shield helping him out. Does get the second W as well to get, you know, a bit more going on there. Klid is able to finish him off in the end, but Flandre picking up a kill for himself is huge.
Well, as we come back to live, though, the replay we didn't see was Klid just walking back up on a manaless Malphite, whose flash was a couple of seconds away as unstoppable force. We return Shallow, who's taking a turret shot. Solo kill from Rock Solid. Flandre, how you doing? Is in the bottom lane. Jeje now on top of a trap, and 4 people. That bear ain't getting no honey today.
We thought what's happening at top would be the bot lane this series. We thought, hey, you have Hung, you have Viper and Mako on one side, it's going to be all aggression, but no, these top laners going back and forth. Really nice, though. FPX able to find a pickoff on the bottom lane. And it's like, hey, again, FPX have been able to keep all of their series close, typically not just getting wiped out in clean 2-0 fashion. So keeping it up with this bottom lane, also getting the first dragon of the game. Won't be an Infernal or Mountain Soul. Always a bit disappointing.
And Especially when you get a mouth fight in the game as well.
I know. I can't remember. Oh, it was Zoom. I just remember Zoom's Malphite having over 1,000 armor.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. As we're going to get to see the replay here of Flandre pressing R, follows up with the E and the W as well. And with the Q and, the clapping.
Oh. Well, also I will say one of the worst Malphite skins, Coral Malphite. Pretty poo-poo. Everyone knows that, I think Mecha Malphite, best sound effects, best animation. I don't know if I'm missing one. People are going to say Shamrock Malphite. How dare you? Ultimate from Gory has been stolen. That's a Volibear ulti, so Relentless Storm. I forgot what the ulti is actually called, Lyric. I don't see enough Volibear. Have to cheat. Have to cheat. Sorry. Stormbringer. That's the one. Look at it. Here it comes. Onto Scout. Doesn't really do too much, and Mako and Viper are here. A knock up on the way from Mako, but decides not to. Camera zoomed in because Herald timing's there. Good death sentence, but Mako will survive for now. And Lyric, that purple thing about to spawn out as Clint and Jedge are going to fight it out. Level 6 on both as Gory flies through the sky. Nice abscond of Duck, max range to help secure the Herald.
Well, let's remember that Clid has been the one picking up a lot of these early game kills, so does have the Sheen very early on, going to be, proccing that spell blade damage pretty consistently, is able to win out in that 1v1, especially with the fact that he did have his ultimate available, and now this should be a Herald for the side of FPX, but Flandre has his ultimate.
Yeah, and he goes straight on in as it burns down, only one the target is EDG, low health bars, that package from Scout, nice though, but for FPX, they're not crossing it, but Clid is dead, so no smite to come through as FPX. Now even against EDG, but the health bars hurt a lot. Look at that puck in the back line of Flandre as they hit the eye. They want to steal this from under the nose. Jedge has now come back in as well. Another eye to hit away. Now a smite available. Stolen. And EDG with the numbers disadvantage run ahead.
And I'm really surprised that FPX weren't able to pull that one through, especially with Shallow, the nice splash of the Malphite ultimate cues back in immediately and gets the safety of this team. But EDG stalled enough time. We saw how much damage Scout and Viper were putting off in that skirmish. Now going to be getting some more gold in the mid lane, putting more pressure onto Gory. Once you break this one down, Scout going to be able to have a lot of impact on the map.
Have his first item very soon after that. Replay again here, Lyric, because starts with Flandre deciding that Shallow, who's not his friend.
Yeah, but that was, again, really good flash coming up from Shallow, but look at Scout on the side, putting off so much damage, gets the package out to safety, then from the safety over the wall, able to get all that damage onto the Trundle. Nice, consistent blasting plant to get him the safety, guaranteeing the objective for the side of Edward Gaming.
And before we went to the replay, guys, I said that Scout put the Herald down. He's pretty close to his first item. Not sure if he's back yet. He already had the new Quiver Cloak of Agility. What is making you ooh?
I didn't notice that we have Scout going towards AD Corki, right? We pretty much get the Ludens every game now.
Gory in trouble. Gory in trouble. Flandre doesn't have ult, but Gory's in trouble. He's stolen the ulti, and he gets out that way. Nicely done. The unstoppable force is the immovable object.
So for Scout, banking on the fact that he can. Oh God! Wow, that was so close.
Look at Glid.
That was so close.
Getting the vision, and he absconds down. I was having a sip of water, man. Almost spat that back out.
Oh my God!
Boy, be in trouble. Dark Passage coming through. Gravitum saves him. Actually, it's hung in the Dark Passage as well. Excuse me. So action keeps building up. Game number 1, Lyric. Let's be honest, little bit sleeperish. This one feeling a bit wokish.
Yeah, I don't know what that word is, but yeah, Flandre now gonna get aggressed on, as we've had a lot of action in the top lane so far. And look at the mini map. Jedge is actually making his way up now. Flandre does have the ultimate available, so FPX gonna try and make a trade on the bottom side. Clid hovering around the bottom side. Wave isn't pushed up just yet though, and now EDG realizes what's going on because they did have a ward in the river. Clid gonna have to back off.
Flandre has ult, and every time Flandre has ult, get excited. Flandre might be tank Malphite, but especially with Jedge hovering nearby, gotta keep an eye out now. Shallow who paying full respect here for now. And while we kind of, lull around a little bit, 20 seconds till Dragon, note that FPX got the first one. But we do have a bit of a mythic advantage. Scout, Jedge both with theirs. Only one on the side of FPX. We'll see if that changes over the next couple of seconds as backs come through. Shallow, who it might not matter. He's got no teleport. He's delayed his backup in this top side. He wants to catch this wave. Just in case Flandre pushes it forward. A couple of minions to miss. He doesn't.
Yeah, and again, I just want to highlight going towards the Immortal Shield Bow, right? Because it is just a playstyle difference coming out in mid lane where you are banking on more of being able to get close, you know, auto the opponent, get more damage off from your Phosphorus Bomb, from your Gatling gun scaling off AD as well. So it's going to be very pivotal of him to really just be able to dodge out on the Absconded Duck and the Death Sentence. Could also be feeling pretty good about that considering he does have Mako on Tom Kench, so potentially could just get more outright DPS than, you know, the typical build where you are solely relying on your rockets.
That's true. The build that we saw primarily with Corkins before we even saw the changes in items, the AP buff, as FPX are waiting all this. Easy. Mako, I think he was over a ward. The hook lands. Hung's now in with the Dark Passage. Ignite Fox down. Grey help gets popped though with JJ with the counterplay. On top of Clint, he has to flash over the wall while LPX joins him, but he's under the turret. On top of Mako. Is that a mistake? JJ now clawing at his face. That's bad. It's a Grizzly. Run! Hung's now goes down as well over the wall. Gory wants to escape, but JJ's already flashed over. Made the commitment. Gory goes the other way, but Scout has one of his own. Stormbringer to help on out. Scout with the Immortal Shield Bow. Gory buying his time. A chain slash or two, will it make a difference? Clint coming as well. Scout! We're all over the place, but JJ clawing while Scout and Clint fight it out. No! FPX win it after what a shenanigans that was.
I can't believe FPX are the team that come out ahead. I mean, they looked like they were kind of jumping into a death trap with the fact that JJ was wrapping around from the jungle. We see the Super Mega Death Rocket does not connect, and FPX finding everything. Now a bit of a brawl on the top side.
Yeah, let's keep it going. There's the unstoppable force. Flash available for Shallow, but Flandre wants to clap him again. Shield acquired. Flandre with a quick dodge away, and that's what you call Mount Everest running right at you.
So ready to go straight into the replay, right? Again, Mako walking on a ward, FPX thinking, hey, we've caught him out. 2v1 right now, we can try and burst him out immediately. But JJ is here. They're able to turn. Mako is able to start getting away. Has to flash. But then this is where LWX finds an opportunity, tries to run in. Viper immediately getting hooked by Hung, so not able to commit any damage during that time. And then the roam from Gory being so clutch in the end. JJ having to flash for more action.
Yeah, the boys. All right, Hung, run for your life, and he won't get too far with it. At the very least, EDG getting another trade-off. Lyric, gold is even. Gold is even as we come back, and this game more of a fiesta, but we love fiesta. Hell, I had Mexican food. How long ago was it? 3 nights ago.
Three days, yeah, I was going to say 3 days ago.
Yeah.
I remember. You sent me a picture.
I had amazing Mexican food. Oh, that's biased. I cooked it. I love fiestas. I love it to bits. And, you know, getting it in the second game, a nice way to round out the night or round us to a game 3. This is how it started in the bottom right.
Yeah, we see the hook does not connect from Hung. Buys time for JJ to be able to make his way down. But, you know, kills finish up. But now I want to focus what's on our screen, which is Herald being up. FPX already bringing Hung over to the play. For the side of EDG, though, Viper will be able to get here before LWX does on the opposite side. Flandre's ultimate is up. That is what we'll be looking at. Package available for Scout. So EDG have all the tools available to find the team fight.
Hung in a dangerous position. Big ones coming out left, right, and center. Again, not the AP build, so it won't hurt as much, but while he's there, the perfect diversion to get the Herald. The trade, of course, being the mid lane turret, opens up the map for EDG, gives them the gold for now. So it's a 5-man package. They move towards mid. They back away again. Speaking of package, Scout actually used that, I believe, Lyric. So, not sure he won't have that one for Dragon.
Yeah, no. Dragon will be up in a minute 16, so won't be able to be used for that still, though. Nice by EDG to be able to guarantee a turret off that, so we'll at least, you know, match whatever impact FPX are able to find with their Herald drop right now. Committing 2 members strong to the top side. Clid hovering around as well. I wonder if we'll see what we saw from EDG last game in terms of being able to get value to 2.
Double force, they use it, but Jeja comes in to save the day for Flandre as he flashes away. Can't help out his jungler, Gory, trying to take down Jeja, but under the turret, it's a trade. Shallow, who tanks it up for way too long. At least for FPX, Lyric, they'll get the top lane turret along with it.
And I want to see if FPX continue pushing here. Their bottom lane left alone in the bottom half of the map, so they're going to be able to get some nice damage onto this turret. Their top side will just choose to recall instead of looking for an inner turret. I'm glad you can save that one to drop towards the mid lane, especially with the fact that Dragon is about to come up. So FPX can start heading down there right now, try and get some control of some vision.
Gale Force is there. He needs a Dark Passage. LWX saved. Hung is always there. It's like you go into, what's a really good store? You go into Woolworths, and yeah, Woolworths gets the props here, and there's always someone to help you out. They've got more staff than need be. Hung is like that Woolworths employee that's always happy to help.
I do want to say, though, really nice by LWX to like realize he can stay that far forward, because he can always just gale force to the side and be able to take the lantern. As EDG have been able to cement some control down towards bottom side.
They're going to go on to Hung. Good tongue lash here. So Mega Death Rocket gets the reset, and Viper now excited. JJ running for LWX. It's the flash bear slap of a different kind. EDG gets quick EDG too, and Lyric, yeah, the dragon right in front of him.
Exactly, but I like the pivot that FPX is making, realizing, hey, now that they're dead, we can't look for the dragon. We need to turn towards mid. They have Rift Herald. They're going to be able to break this one down. So at least despite their bottom lane getting caught out, being able to find a worthwhile trade somewhere else on the map, and gold still pretty much even. Might be more in favor towards EDG with that bot lane turret being picked up. And now EDG going to be getting their second dragon of the game.
But isn't it funny that after all's said and done, it's only 1,000? After 10 kills apiece, 18 minutes, 20 kills. I know we keep talking about coach streamers, and it does feel like we're, you know, like
that you're cloud chasing.
Hey,
yes.
You mentioned you cloud chased a little bit earlier, so I'm in the clear for this one. Flandre walking in 2 people, and he's not going to be in the clear if he has to ulti out of this. But Scout's there, turns it back around, but Scout can't get a trade. Flandre's dead in an instant, and unfortunately, I guess he should have ulted the other way.
This is one of the things we were highlighting in draft coming out for FPX, right? Is the ability to find these picks on sides with the pressure that both Jace and Silas will be able to generate. And they're doing that right now. Look on the minimap, the bottom side, right? Gory going to be getting some pressure off onto this bottom lane turret. And nice by FPX to realize another way their comp can start looking for advantages, especially with how big their Silas is. We're going to go to replay what happened down in the bottom side. Nice zap coming out from Viper. Mako just going to land the tongue lash and go straight into the abyssal dive.
That's the problem. If Hung flashes away, something's wrong. So, unfortunately, not the Hung plays as expected. Quick double. Mako actually picking up the last one. Lyric.
True. Wait, you're right. Yeah. If he could have walked a bit forward, flashed at the perfect time, the Tom Kench is going to the Q. He ends up on the other side of Mako. Right. He's right on top of Viper.
That's right, my dude. Now you're seeing it. Hey, other good news though for FPX. While Hung might be caught out in the bottom lane with LWX, Gory has a Magi. 10 stack here in the 402 as he wants to stack that one up. Good pillar onto Flandre again. Jeje helping out with the Sky Splitter. Magi is a big deal considering that Gory versus Scout. Bit of a historical matchup. Gory used to be behind Scout on EDG. Both of them have been trainees on the SKT roster under Faker in past years. Scout very, very much further back. But Lyric, they're both players who have played together, or at least under or over each other.
Yeah, and for Gory, right, again, we already highlighted how he's massive. I think especially once he is able to pick up Zhonya's Hourglass and how crucial that is for Silas, again, in terms of being able to buy you a time for another rotation of spells to come out, Abscond Abduct again, follow up with another W, get some healing down. He'll really be able to start dealing some damage if he is able to get on this back line. So you see now, looks like Viper just trying to get a bit of information on what FPX are up to. They realize that FPX are playing to their condition of having pressure and prio in these sides, and we see Mako hovering over right now. For EDG, I think their comp is a lot more based around the neutral objectives, so I don't expect us to see them looking for too many aggressive picks unless someone really does overextend in one of those side lanes. It really will be FPX the one trying to play on the front foot.
Okay. Well, again, if we do see FPX playing aggressively, as Gory actually going to be spotted out. He goes on the Scout. Look, damage. Scout at half HP, and Abscond abducted to Mako. I'm not sure he was expecting him in there. Hung saves the day with a good Dark Passage. EDG moved to yet another turret. This will be 3 apiece, but look at mid. This is rock solid play. Actually going on to Clear, who subjugates to get his way out, but Jeje on the wing. The pillar won't stop him. He crashes down on Clear, stuns him down, and Scout
It's jungle. Jungler's down.
And you know what? In front of Baron with a package, that's EDG's opening window.
Exactly, EDG, I mean, easiest decision of their life to look to turn for this one. They are missing out on some tools to turn and find and engage. No Malphite or Volibear ultimate available, but still, they have the poke, they have the package, you still have flashes as well.
Galal who gets one onto Jeje, that's big, but at 3k, this should be secure. The ulti from LWX as well, trying to get them in the back of the pit. The damage going down. Massive, but the spite needs to come through. It's secured by Flandre. Mount Everest, the biggest mountain to climb, as EDG are over the wall trying to escape. Gory goes in again, won't sacrifice life as he flushes away. Mako even dies as well, but Edward Gaming get out with 2 Barons and a bloody rock that killed a big purple thing.
I just want to know what ability he did that with, right? He has no ultimate, so he autoed, he W'd, then autoed or pressed E on the Baron, and out of all the things around, the Corgis, the Jinxes, the Silences, that's what secures it. Well, I guess we're going to get to find out here exactly what it is. I'm sure our observers will start to slow it down. Keeping my eyes on him.
Oh, here you go.
9.
10! 10! What do you even get it with a ground? 10! Oh my god! It was a 3 and then I think it regented. Malphite, let's go, dude. It got back to 10, but yeah, it went down to 3. So
we have a dragon fight now, I guess. There's no package available for Scout still, though. Flandre's ultimate is back up. Gory, what are you going to steal? I don't know what is on cooldown, what he isn't able to take just now. I believe he isn't able to take Flandre's ult. That was what he took in the last Baron fight. Potentially could steal Jejez by now.
Okay, well, let's fight once again, I guess. Viper hit hard. As we return to the action, the Ocean Dragon walked in. Thank you so much, Clint, with an easy steal, 2 apiece. EDG have to walk away empty-handed. And look, Inner Ping's going down. I mean, FPX is just running bot.
Base race, base race.
Yes.
We've had so many base races over the past 2 weeks.
Let's go.
Let's keep it going.
All right, they had the Baron buff still on Scout, though, so base race against him. Not going to work out. They're actually calling it. They're going to back off. FPX running towards an inhibitor turret. Jejez one back alongside Scout. Even Flandre on the Malphite. 4 versus 3 for now. Jinx staying towards mid lane. That's Vipers. Jeje wants to stop them. The health bar's quite low, but FPX, I think, will get away here as a good dodge away from Hung. Meanwhile, there from Viper. And it all stops there. It would have been nice. It would have been fun, but the base race ends like fun.
Still, FPX making some really clever decisions this game, right? We had the earlier pivot when they lost 2-member spot towards mid. Now realizing, hey, we have a faster track on this push to be able to take the inhibitor, and they do that. So we've talked about with FPX, again, always being able to bring the fight, keep the games close. And with EDG as well. EDG typically do have a sloppier game within a series. This one right now, pretty much at a stalemate. I feel like Gory still will be the massive defining factor. Has not died once. Bizania's now picked up, as well as the Warden's Mail.
Lyric, are you ready? Are you ready for the next one? Because Golf Village, and I need to progress this forward. I like that you're starting to recount some items here because we are getting into very late game territory. 26 kills, 25 minutes. What defines this game for you after everything you've seen, after the Baron that was taken by a flimsy piece of rock? What defines it from here as to who comes out ahead? Jejez poking head in might into rock.
I still feel like EDG should have a decent time in team fights. You know, barring Mako is able to find his ultimate onto a key target. They have, you know, the AoE damage. They have the poke for a standoff. So for me, the big difference maker, again, will be Gory. Will be if Gory can take away the Malphite ultimate, find his way onto both Scout and Viper, and then burst them out because he's absolutely massive right now. So for FPX, surprisingly for once, their hopes will be in the hands of their mid laner.
Okay. Strange thing to say because Gory, I think, coming into the LPL, we know that LCK fans, broadcast has ended, you got to go somewhere, you got to come to the better region. Lyric, Gory in the LCK is known as a big team fighter. Now in the LPL he came through, his laning wasn't great, but he's still hitting those team fight elements that everyone knows and loves him for. In this game, a decent time throughout the laning phase, but comes into the team fights once again in a very big way. He's behind Scout in gold, but I think the biggest thing is there's 20 stacks on the Magi's. 603, massive bounty, 3.5 items, and you mentioned the Warden Bell before. We have a Frozen Heart picked up by a Silas mid, so this build going to be stopping a lot as Clint has to be careful of Scout on the way out. Scout has to be careful of Xiaolahu in the same sense.
Yeah, and you know, the Frozen Heart coming out, so going to try and slow the attack speed of both Scout and Viper, right? I mean, Scout going for this just AD Corki builds. Sure, you'll still do a lot of magic damage just as Corki in general, but I think gonna get a lot of agency on that, especially when with the ultimates he's able to steal on the opposite side. Gory can pretty much always guarantee finding access to the back line.
Viper in the front line, careful. The ult comes through from LWX. Only onto 2, the shock blast poke as well. If Viper gets hooked there, remember, he doesn't have cleanse. He's only got Mako to swallow him up. But Viper survives for now, hung with the hook, maximum range. Poke again, keep watching it through as Gory frontline onto this jungle side. Mako not interrupted. That was risky, that was dangerous in EDG. They're going to be sent back from this inner turret that has no HP.
No, I mean, now EDG truly feeling the heat. FPX doing a nice job of controlling this top side. Dragon needs to come up in about a minute. Baron coming up in 15 seconds. I wouldn't expect for FPX to look for the commit, and Scout, once again,
Gosh.
it's going to take his package.
Yeah, all right. 45 seconds till it spawn. 4-item Corki here, Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon. Those are the items going to make extra piece of difference. LWX, as he walks up here, has to be careful because every time Scout hits, that's going to happen. Everyone's going to heal him up, though. FPX walking topside river. Baron spawns. 30 more seconds until the Dragon. This will be soul point for whoever picks it up. Remember that before Clid stole it. Means that EDG has a couple more to go.
I wonder if EDG will just look to commit for the Baron to try to pull them out to use the package.
Okay.
But it makes sense, right? Like you picked up the package, you want to get value out of this, so you're going to try and draw FPX into a fight while you have this.
Well, Scout needs to use it soon because it's about to time out onto the Baron. They're burning it out. Clid is there. On the other side is Gory, but he's doing so much damage. Scout hooked up into the box, eaten up by Mako to be saved. And there goes Gory. Magi stack full flat. EDG now front to backing it with Mako saving Scout. Everything could be huge, but Viper burnt down in the backline. Scout now running away from LWX. Flandre separated over the wall. Shallow chasing him down, but meanwhile FPX, it looks like they lost it until they burned down Viper.
Well, EDG used so many resources just to kill Gory, right? They pretty much committed everything onto the Silas.
Oh, Flandre canceled the back. Descent is not going to connect, but the teleport comes through. Shallow with a shock blast can end this one, but it goes to the side. Chasing him down is not the mission. Baron's there while EDG at least will get the Dragon.
Yeah, super back and forth game so far. Definitely feels like FPX are the ones holding the reins right now. Will be able to pick themselves up a Baron.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we're going to see how much threat they are able to put onto these inhibitor turrets. One inhibitor already open, so potentially having, you know, the rest of your force like hovering around mid, throwing out accelerated shot class, putting Gory in that bottom side. What we're going to see here, like you said, package is about to time out, so Scout felt like he had to commit in, go straight onto Gory. We see the other members of EDG starting to follow up. There's Malphite ultimate onto Gory as well, so you get into the rest of the fight, you don't really have great ways of committing onto the other members of FPX. And then Shallow, who right here, right through the stasis of Volley Bear, lands onto Viper. And this is why, you know, the Jace pick, very signature for Shallow, but also very good against Jinx and Corki, because you do outrange him with those accelerated shot glass. So being able to find a ton of burst, be able to outmatch him in that regard, and now starting to put up this pressure. It looks like FPX starting to go for the 1-4 formation. 4 in mid, have your Silas inside lanes.
Oh my gosh, Shallow wants to do it again. I mean, that hurts. Viper at less than half HP. Shallow sending him out left, right, and center, but Clid's deep. Clid, wow, that's way too deep as Gravito hits. Maybe not Infernum, excuse me, with the Moonlight Vigil. Clid almost went down the subjugate, probably saving the life with the stats as Gory's deep as well. Flandre still with the ultimate available. EDG on their defense. Send FPX away. That'll slow down the Baron push. But Lyric, I mean, I've just watched Shallow, who, even though it all goes awry, Viper takes 2 of those shock blasts and he's just dead. Courtesy of the top laner of FPX.
Yeah, and FPX is going to keep going with this one, right? And now even bringing over Gory because they don't have that waving top side.
Be careful with damage. There's the unstoppable.
Ooh, Malphite ultimate.
By Gory. He gets an abscond abduct in, even with the 14 stack from the guys. He'll be big. Shallow missing again. Redemption used by Hung. And it's a tense situation in front of the base. Does this go to a game number 3? It's a minute left of Baron and EDG attending to their ways, but Gory has abscond abduct and ulti, and Viper knows he has to respect it.
Luckily, Viper does have Flash, has his Gale Force active up, as well as having the stopwatch. So he has ways to survive the initial engages coming out from FPX.
They're going in. Jed doesn't get the engage he wants. Shallow at half HP as well. Flandre with his own ulti versus Gory. with a Soul on one. Shallow, who every time he misses, EDG take a sigh of relief. So FPX break open the base. They can't get the inhibitor for now, Lyric, but at least there's a way in. There's pressure being added every step of this Baron wave.
Yeah, and for FPX, he's still, like I said, 30 seconds still up on the Baron. They could look to continue this push. I wonder if EDG are going to feel pressure to look for a fight.
Viper, they're all flashed away from Ghost Golden. Viper alive for now. As Flandre comes in with his own Gory, has to run away. Viper healthy enough, and now with that Silas out of there, cleared the new target. Flandre at half HP. Inhibitor goes down. Shallow doing the other one. While his poke goes through right onto Scout, Clid threatening too, and double inhib in the play even after they miss, even after Viper survives.
Yeah, Viper with a really nice flash into the stopwatch that we were hitting on. Still, though, after that engage follows up, we see once Clid does get that ultimate off onto Flandre that they do no damage to him. Able to just zone them back so they can freely start taking some of these structures. We see the accelerated shock blast miss, but bam! Gory goes in for it. Perfectly timed flash coming out from Viper. Instantly stopwatching the abscond abduct as well. JJ wasting his ultimate a little bit there. And then just keep your eyes here. You have the members of EDG having to back off. Clid, though, is just so tanky. I think Viper and Scout are going to just turn and start hitting him. Not going to be able to get any damage off, but sadly, we don't get to see the Omega tank Chad that is Clid.
Don't. But we know it exists, and we know in front of these next fights, those tanks are beefing up even more. Zonya's picked up by Flandre too. Lyric, 50 seconds, 55 to be precise, until a potential Ocean Soul for EDG. But right now, leaving their base seems like such a hard task, especially when there's a ward in it. The potential of backdooring is huge with supers coming into the base. EDG are on defense for the next couple of minutes.
Also, just like tough choices, right? Viper going for a Vampiric Scepter because of how much the Accelerated Shock Blast are doing, feeling like he needs more lifesteal.
Yep.
But now you don't have any like Lord Dominix or anything to be able to do damage to the front line of Clid if we do get into close range combat. So for the side of EDG, seems like they are completely focused on trying to burst out members like Gory or Shallow.
Focused on the fact that he can burst out Scout or Viper, so
actually,
it goes both ways.
Gory's really tanky as well. Force of Nature now as well.
Oh yeah, good point. Throws the top for as well. Scout has the package. He's going to have to use it to get out of there. Away from the abscond abduct. EDG were reversing on an angle as well. Flandre with the ulti and flash available. This is Soul Point if they can steal it away. EDG opting in for the fight, Lyric.
Yeah, I mean, for EDG, they gotta be careful. Gory.
Gory's gonna go split push. Oh my god! That's a 4-man ultimate immediately. Jedge and Flandre helping seal the fight. FPX have walked in into a group. Gory not nearby. The jungler, the next focus, Clid, walking away as Ocean Soul now offered up. Flandre, how diddly doodly neighborino.
And for FPX, they're coming back in. Gory finds it.
That's a big deal, though. He's going to get Mako as well after the shielding goes down. But Gory now dealing with Viper and Jedge in the same blow. Scout trying to poke him out of Abscond Abduct to follow through. Flandre slow from the back burner. He's trying to TP out of there, but Clid wants to slow this one down. Can't stop it with the pillar. FPX, they lose themselves a potential Ocean Soul, or at least Soul Point. And EDG, they may lose the next current, Lyric, but they're going to hold on for dear life.
Yeah, they're going to be able to survive another day. And my God, that one was so tense. I can't wait to get the replay of it because you can see FPX were just about to start up a cheeky plan once Flandre did find that massive ultimate. But still, you have the Ocean Soul coming out now. That's going to pay you dividends up against the Jace on the opposite side. Now both teams going to start turning their attention towards the Baron.
Game ain't over. It's great that we've gotten to this point. Still don't know what's going to happen. Flandre without the flash play again, Lyric. But Unstoppable Force is right back there. FPX in River for now. And Gory has teleport. Chooses to use it, but he's going to stick around mid. Moves down to the bottom side. Baron has a ward that FPX will now see. And...
ooh, I really like this from the side of FPX, right? Because, I mean, you already know your sauce will 100% win in the 1v1. You can't commit too many members down there because FPX can burn this Baron so fast. Yeah. So FPX using that side pressure to make EDG have to make the tough choices.
Well, JJ needs a steal here because going down fast is over the wall. Pillar, but he gets it!
He does!
JJ gets it! World champion quality jungler. Absolutely outclassed the kids. Slight difference here as Scout has stolen away, but Gory gets his ultimate to poke him through. Big one's flying out. Gory realizes, wait, I can't win this 1v1. The bear's on the hunt. And when we're going on a bear hunt, I mean, Gory, he's going to catch a big one if he stays too.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. If Gory had something like the Volley Bear or the Malphite ultimate in this one. Everyone, maybe he could have been able to come out ahead with the burst and the lockup to find it, but we're finally going to go back to that. Oh no! Oh, we're not getting the dragon replay. We're gonna get the steal. Goes in. Did smite? Oh, so yeah, just able to get the smite coming out from JJ, but man, I wanted the dragon replay. Yeah. I wanted the Flandre 4-man ulti, because right at that time, Gory had already started to try and go to the base for a backdoor. So I don't think FPX wanted the fight at that time.
I think they got it anyway. Lyric, at 37 minutes into the game, EDG with the Baron buff on all 5 members. As they run through mid, sideways pushing in, Gory has to attend to it. Remember, teleport's still up and available for him. They're running right down here with Flandre, picking up the pieces, picking up the tempo. He's got an unstoppable force, he's going to use it. Gallahoo doing less and less at this point. EDG with Baron, Gory still there. He's got teleport, but he might have to use it soon. I mean, Gory deciding to back off. Teleport now being channeled. Remove the cameras. Go to the full screen. As he gets behind enemy lines, they're going for the end. EDG want to end the series as JJ gets bursted out, but one next to Tarko with a Viper. Gets hooked in. Eat up by Mako. On the backside, Gory steals the ultimate Clint. Trying to get onto the 80 carry. FPX are burning health bars. Is this how it ends? Gory saving the game. He's got the 80 carry of EDG. Now recruiting him, but for how much longer? Flandre's done it again. EDG don't need the 80 carry. This is how they're going to end. They're going to chat it right through the mid lane. 2-0 on FPX. That's it. Match done.
And I love seeing Flandre there zoning out Gory, allowing the other members to find the engage, allowing the other members to find the commit. And this was so back and forth, right? We saw Clint steal away dragons, Jedge stealing away that Baron in the end. Gory, some massive ultimates, Flandre as well. FPX keep up their reputation as a team who can bring it close against anyone in the league. And EDG finding some really nice momentum after their loss to Weibo. And I mean, a 2-0, right? No matter what fashion it happened in, you're showing you can withstand adversity, you can withstand the struggle. And great to see Flandre get his hands on the Malphite and find some really impactful ultimates and performances coming out in this game.
Lyric, it's crazy to me. It's like watching the 2019 or 2018 World Finals. You think this is going to be a bit back and forth, close, maybe a 3, 4, 5 game series, especially in the BO5. But then nothing to hold up. It's a 2-0. It's a quick slapping here from EDG. Yes, EU, that was a reference at you. And the class of this World Championship team can't be understated. I think more importantly, game 1 was a bit of a clinic as we saw it roll on. Game number 2 with how back and forth it was, how messy it was, kind of put the path of us understanding that FPX are still like a top tier team, you know, a playoff tier team that can go head to head with EDG.
No, I even like the usage of top tier team, which I'm sure a lot of people might not agree with, considering now they're going to be sitting on 4-4, I believe, coming off of this game. But the fact is, right, they've shown they can keep it close with anyone. With more time, like, this FPX can do a lot of damage come a playoff situation, especially with their level of aggression, how they're willing to adapt in a game, right? We saw some really good macro plays coming out from them. So I want to quickly highlight them, you know, before we get to talking more about our winners. But for FPX, it's like, yeah, I think we see smart decision-making. We see individual talent. Sure, there are some areas where they're barely falling short, but I think this is a team that if you give time, will be the team that if I was coaching any of the other LPL teams, I'd be like, I do not want to draw FPX in playoffs. Yeah. I don't. Some of their players are crazy. They're very adaptable on the Rift, and it's just nice to see they keep it up, as that's the gold graph. That perfectly describes this game.
It does. There's nothing more you can say when... I can't believe it was that back and forth. we experienced kill for kill, blow for blow throughout the whole game. There was a 38-minute bonanza. Fiesta, we called it. And it was great. And let's be honest, it also came off the back of a couple of big steals. Clid delaying the game even further with his steal on Dragon that would have led to Soul Point. EDG getting a huge Flandre ultimate. Getting the Motion Soul Lyric. Jeja moments after stealing Baron. This game was stealing the heart away. That's what it was all about. The storyline that netted EDG a series win.
Yeah, and for EDG, it was just nice to see a series where we not only got game 1, where you have Flandre getting, you know, a bit more attention from his jungler and seeing how they utilize that. We always knew they could because they have done it in the past. And seeing game 2, where he was back on this pick, once again, gets a bit more attention because he is able to easily set up those ganks, but also have big moments. Because I feel like when you think about EDG, like, you always know their bot lane's going to show up. Scout and JJ, you know, most of the time are going to perform at a level that is hard to match for not just the LPL, anyone in the world. Flandre is the one you look at a little skeptically of like, hey, Flandre, we all know you're good, but you have shown to be a player who can dip down in performance. So seeing Flandre be able to play so consistently as well at the start of the split, I think has been very promising for the side of EDG. And it just goes back to the same old story. That's what's kind of sad about EDG and sad about when they win, is since they're coming off an LPL title and a world title, there's no magic. You're not impressed. You're just like, okay, we're going to get to the postseason. We're going to see if you can do it again, right? Yeah. Because you're right. That's the perfect word. We expect it to happen.
Right, and anything but 100%, anything but that world champion form, and you go, what happened? I remember IG watching them in 2019 after their win. They were great. They won a domestic title, their first domestic title in 2019 spring. They got to MSI.
Lose to Team Liquid.
And they lost to TL. And, you know, NA's like, you know, we're doing it. Good for them. But in all seriousness, it was like, well, IG lost. They didn't get into the finals. They didn't get an MSI title. They're rubbish. They're garbage.
Just very quickly, I just love how you always find a way to fit an IG story.
I do.
No matter what.
I don't know how.
What we're talking about.
Today, Weibo gave me, it's like 3 of these players are from IG organization. EDG versus FPX. Let me tell you about IG 2019 spring. It happens, dude. I don't know how, but I have IG pants. That's how. But I don't know where they are.
Coming back to EDG, I also want to just do what we always do, just putting more of a focus onto Viper, just because I feel like we continue to see how mechanically proficient Viper is, just how good he is at playing with his team, utilizing the resources, just beautiful flash from the unstoppable force that Gory stole away into the amazing timing of the stopwatch was just excellent. And again, I'm 100% positive come the end of the split when we're talking about MVP candidates, Viper will once again be one of the leaders in the conversation.
Easily. It's every split he's been in where I'm just going to look down at the MVPs as well, where Viper's always leading. He's second right now on 5. Lyric, who got game 1? Was it? No, it was Scout. Scout for game 1.
Yep.
And looking at Scout.
You know the funniest thing is seeing Betty up there. All the other names, Xiaohu, Rookie, Light, Tarzan, Viper. Then you're like, okay, Betty as well. So, but point is, right, Viper definitely going to be towards the top of that conversation coming in on split. Just phenomenal to see this guy step up game after game. It's not even stepping up at this point. Like, it's like his normal level.
Okay. So we've just been told we got Flandre for a bit of an interview. This is going to be a nice little touch considering his game 2 on the Malphite. So we're going to hand it back over to Christina, who's got Flandre standing by.
Hello everyone, welcome to the post-game interview in Shanghai studio. This is Christina. Now we're joined by Flandre, the top laner from EDG. Congratulations on your win. Firstly, I want to touch on the game 1 because you guys got a big turret lead in early game throughout a lot of skirmishes. Could you please share us more your early game macro strategies? 欢迎我们的 Flandre 选手来到赛后采访。第一个问题想要问到的是，在第一局前期呢，你们在防御塔方面获得了很大的优势，想问一下你们第一局前期围绕防御塔这样一个运营思路是什么样的呢？
我们第一局前期主要是因为对面一直在拿小龙跟我们交换嘛，所以我们就前期尽量拿塔，然后后面我们装备比较好，所以一直找他们打架就行。
Actually, our enemy opponent, they focused on the objectives like so many drags, so we just decided to do more trades with them. And if we can farm till late game, we will fight them and find a lot of opportunity to engage the team fight. So my next question is about the ban pit strategies, because I don't think Malphite is so popular currently in the LPL stage. Why was that pick? 想问一下，在第二局为什么会选出石头人这样一个英雄的选择？因为石头人看起来目前在 LPL 赛场上好像并不是非常的常见。
石头人这个选的主要是因为拿来针对杰斯的嘛，因为石头人可以给杰斯非常大的进攻压力，杰斯压不住的话，自己后面石头人到6了以后会很难打，所以就选石头人。
Because Malphite is a classic counterpick into JC, and if JC can't overwhelm Malphite in the laning phase after Malphite got to level 6 and when he got his ultimate, JC is too hard to play against Malphite. So let's talk a bit more about the game 2, and your enemy opponent put a lot of stress on top lane and they targeted on you on top lane. How was your was your strategy to deal with it？在拿到石头人之后，对面也是在非常前期就给予了上路很大的压力，你是怎么样应对的呢？
前期他们也有做设计那种一级团嘛，所以前面可能被针对的比较惨，但是后面有一波2v2打的还是比较成功的。要是后续我直接选择 B 了，应该会赢得更快吧，还是自己出的问题。
Maybe I think I made a little bit of mistakes on top lane, and I think I just need to do my best well. And we got a win on the 2v2 skirmishes. So the final question is about in the very late game, FunPlus Phoenix was trying to push in the 3 waves and they want to destroy your base, but you can defend it so successfully. What was your very late game strategies? 最后一个问题想要问到的是，FunPlus 在最后的几波团战当中来势汹汹，他们非常想要去拿下你们的高地，但是你们防守的都非常成功。想问一下，你们在最后这个时期，你们的整个运营思路是什么样的？
我们最后时期的运营思路肯定是想着保着我们中路跟 AD 两个双 C 打，毕竟他们是两个大后期，飞机跟金克斯，所以后面我们一直找塞勒斯位置，不让他偷我大招，就或者我一直盯着他就行，让我们双 C 有足够的输出环境。
So in very late game, we were focusing on the position of the Cyrus because he is farmed so well. And the only things we need to do is to create a very good environment for our AP carry and AD carry because they can do a higher damage in the very late game. Congratulations again！再次恭喜我们的 EDG 战队，也再次感谢 Flanjo 选手来到赛后采访。我们的赛后采访到此先告一段落。Back to you guys.